How's it going, everybody? Slothy here, bringing you another video on Pokemon TCG Pocket. Today I'm going to try to keep this one brief. I just wanted to go over how much money the game is making and how many downloads they've had and our estimates as of right now, November 21st, and you know, kind of what that means for the game. I'm going to get into it starting off with this tweet that you see here on the screen. Now, this was the first piece of information that started getting me a little bit curious about what could be going on in the back door. It's kind of strange that a game would hit 30 million downloads and all we would just get is a thank you and no in-game rewards or anything of the sort, no acknowledgement or thank you for the player base outside of this note right here. Other than this, we've only gotten one other note from the developers talking about trading and some updates for the future of the game, but nothing specifically saying thank you and some rewards, which is where it started getting a little bit weird for me, because generally when something like this happens, they will give out some rewards, but they didn't do it for this. And then a little bit later, I was going through Reddit and I saw that there was this Redditor talking about how much money they've made. Now, I'm not going to read the entirety of this article, but I did just want to give you guys the gist of how much money they've made since the game released. This reads, Pokemon trading card game Pocket surges past the 100 million in 17 days. That's an insane amount of money. Again, these guys weren't like a game that was in development for years and years and that they had promised for years and years and that you ended up buying for $80-$90 on release date. This was a game that came out on the App Store for free that people willingly spent money to open packs in. This is a lot of money for something like that. The card collector game is averaging almost 6.4 million per day in player spending, and then later on they also mentioned that this number is increased to 8.2 million in the 15th of November. That was the most lucrative day that they've had since release, and that was all according to App Magic's estimate. TCG Pocket averages 6.4 million in daily player spending since global launch. Meanwhile, the game generated an additional 35.8 million in week 1 and a further 48.5 million in week 2. Now, I'm only reading over these things to give you guys an idea of how much people are spending. Japan has consistently remained the biggest audience with its current contribution of 50.6 million or 42% of global spendings, and the US follows at 33.6 million, equivalent to 28% of total revenues. Now, here's what I really wanted to show you guys. This chart basically shows us that by the 7th, when this tweet came out, they had already had the 30 million downloads, right? This is before people really started spending on the game. So the amount of money that we're talking about here after the 30 million downloads must be kind of crazy. I would even go as far as to say maybe even doubled at some point with the downloads. But again, we don't know. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. My only rant about all of this is that they're not saying anything. We're not getting any acknowledgement outside of that thank you that we got on the 7th, and then that note that came out giving us information on what updates they'd be doing on the game. But there were no player rewards, there were no acknowledgements in game. There was really just a lot of radio silence, which isn't surprising from Pokemon, but it is surprising for this milestone. I don't care who you are, if you're hitting these numbers, this is success. Your product did well. Do more, do better. As of right now, the game gets a little stale after you finish all of the early game missions. You finish the solo battles, you get all the tickets, you do all your pack openings, and now you're just sitting there doing regular battles. And then once you finish your 45 battles, there's nothing else to do. This game is massive right now. So many people are playing it, and I've already seen people complaining about it. It's just a little concerning right now. So I would just keep an ear on the wall and try to see how things are going before you guys invest too much time into the game, before we know exactly what the developers are kind of thinking. Maybe they have a big head because they did so well and they don't feel like they have to because it's Pokemon, or they're really gearing up to give us some crazy surprises coming into the holiday seasons. We just don't know. But as of right now, it is looking a little suspicious, you know, a little sus on their side, and I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for them to say something else to the community and give us a little bit more of an update. But with that said, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and take care.